Welcome to Make It Delicious, Flavours of Australia. In this series, we'll be introducing some native Australian ingredients, making them easy for you guys to cook in your home. I'm going to be working with fellow Aussie chef Nornie Bero. She's going to be sharing her tips, her tricks and her personal stories around these beautiful ingredients. I've not really used the leaves much, that's really interesting to know. So before we get started, Nornie's going to select a native ingredient and then we'll meet back in the kitchen to see what recipe I can come up with. I'm very happy with that. It's kind of got everything.
It's delicious. You really outdid yourself this time for me.
I'm Darren Robertson. This is Make It Delicious, Flavours of Australia.
So we've got pepper berries here. They actually grow in the colder parts native to Tasmania. You can see the little berries on them, but you can also use the leaves because the leaves are as spicy as the berries. So the berries will give you those Szechuan spices, but then it gives you this really lovely clovey flavor. You can have it in teas or your chai, or it's really good on rubs, especially when it comes to game meats. And you can use the leaves like bay leaves. So I'll be really interested to see what he's going to do with that.
Nornie Bero.
Hi, how are you?
All right, what we got today?
We have pepper berries. So we've got some dried pepper berries here. So this gives you that Szechuan hit, but then goes away really nicely with the cloves, and it's just got its own unique flavor. But I like showing the leaves as well because you can use the leaves like bay leaves. They can get spicier than actually the pepper itself. But they also have a breeding element where they need a friend to grow, basically.
And you've got a little cheeky tattoo on one of these puppies, right?
Yes, I got the pepper berries here. It is one of my favorites.
Love it. All right, so no pressure on me then. So I thought it'd be really nice to make a plum and pepperberry chutney. And I thought I'd serve that up with something, one of my favorite things, a crumbed pork cutlet. So Cotoletta style, so just like dipped in, panko crumbs, Parmigiano Reggiano, and fried in some foaming butter.
Yum. That's like breakfast.
So yeah, that's breakfast. Yeah. So first step, the chutney itself. I'm going to pop some vinegar into a saucepan. Pop that in. Apple cider's great. Equal amounts of Massel vegetable stock. This is going to give it a bit of a depth of flavour, nice savoury note. And so then in with our hero ingredient, the pepper berries.
Those beautiful colours.
So you can see straight away you've got that beautiful colours coming out.
That rich ruby coming from it.
Circle. Put in our plums. I'll cut them in halves or quarters. And really this thing's just a reduction. In with some ginger, so plenty of grated ginger. A bit more heat, spice. A diced red onion. Just to round that out, I've got some brown sugar here. So then we'll wind that in. And then I just like to give it a bit of a stir. But those plums are going to break down a bit and it's going to be a bit sort of chutney, jammy, just what the doctor ordered when you're eating a pork chop. We'll reduce that down. It'll take about 15 minutes. And whilst it's doing its thing, prepare our pork cutlets. So this is a bit of a Cotoletta style crumbed pork, essentially. So we've got some seasoned flour.
Just to hold the crumbs on.
Just stir that through. Egg mix. It's just an egg, a splash of milk just whisked up. And then the breadcrumbs. So for this, a bit more salt again. I've got some panko breadcrumbs here.
Nice, so it's been nice and crunchy.
Nice and crunchy, and then just to enrich in that, some grated Parmigiano Reggiano. Give them a little mix. And then for these puppies, I'll just season these with a bit of salt, both sides. So I've flattened these out very slightly, and I think it just speeds up the cooking time. So I'm just going to pop that in some seasoned flour, and then we're going to pop that in our milk egg wash. And onto our breadcrumbs. Make sure they're well coated. All right. So a couple of tiny knobs of butter. You barely even see it. All right, so that's what you're after. So you want it bubbling, foaming away. And then we're just going to carefully take our pork cutlets, pop them in our pan. Great, look at that. And so I want to give these about 4 minutes each side. Reduce it down, sort of a medium heat, let it do its thing. And ideally you want a nice crispy, golden, crunchy exterior. So I'll sort of flip it over very gently.
Look at that.
The sound's quite hypnotic, isn't it? It's just pork cooking in foaming butter. It's smelling pretty good. Grab these out.
They look amazing. I can't wait till it gets in my belly.
Touch of salt just to finish off. Let it rest for a couple of minutes and then we'll plate up. How good is this?
I'm like, I'm waiting, I'm speechless, I'm waiting for it.
So we'll plate up. So I'm just going to serve some greenery. So a little bit of the classic flat leaf parsley lemon combo, and then a beautiful little salad on the side. My pork on, lemon cheek, a bit of chutney and dreams, I suppose. Beautiful little side salad. Let's dig in.
Yeah, let's do it. Bit of this lemon on.
Squeeze lemon and dreams.
That's so delicious.
It works so well, doesn't it?
All those pepper berries coming through there, oh my God.
I'm very happy with that. It's kind of got everything. The sweetness of the pork, the crisp and the crunch of the exterior, and sort of sweet and sour chutney with a beautiful spice of the pepper berries.
That plum is just so beautiful with that cutlet. It's delicious. You really outdid yourself this time for me. I think it was like one of my favorites, so delicious.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for watching Make It Delicious Flavours of Australia. I hope we inspired you guys to cook with native ingredients in your own kitchen. And of course, thank you to Nornie Bero.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, guys.